slammed open that door and I said, Grant, follow me right now. And he grabbed his backpack and frickin' hauled balls in there. And
what's up, record breakers? We were at the Thrive conference. I was one of the speakers. Elena Cardone spoke, then I spoke, then Grant Cardone spoke, then Cole Hatter spoke, and then afterwards we went and got a steak dinner, and then after that, a whole bunch of us ended up coming over here to the Mandalay Bay, but for some reason, I don't know what it was, I decided to stay back. God, that's when all chaos broke loose, you guys. So right where the window is, literally like 12 or 14 floors above that, was the VIP room where there was like 75 people that were there. They had just separated, so the room was split into two, and what they did was SWAT came and literally locked down those rooms, wouldn't let them leave. They kept them there for like 8 to 12 hours, all overnight. They were trying to message back and forth. I was outside the hotel. They were stuck inside. Everybody was communicating, trying to figure it out. We were texting back and forth. Everybody was scared. Everybody was nervous. So what I did was I went on a local rooftop where I could see everything, and I went live on Facebook. What's up, you guys? I am on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm actually on a parking garage rooftop. Don't worry, you guys. I'm safe out here. Cops have been swarming. There are hundreds of cops out here. Grant Cardone's private mastermind that was afterwards, I was supposed to be there with them. We decided not to go. All of them kind of got locked down. I don't know, I'm trying to communicate with them. SWAT team locked them down. They're there in the room, they're safe. They're having them lie down on the floor right now. So I've been in text communication with them. Grant Cardone, Cole Hatter, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, all that whole crew, they are in lockdown by SWAT team inside of Mandalay Bay. Then you have a whole nother group of people that went to the country concert. I think it was a Jason Aldean concert that was right there. They were all flooding out of there. This is right here where all the cops are. Hundreds and hundreds of cops, just hard for you to see right here. We talked to a couple people at the country concert. It was a little bit crazy. They were saying that shooters were shooting the people that were in the front row at the Big and Rich and Jason Aldean concert. Jason Aldean was coming out for his final performance.
Jason Aldean was like on his final song, and then like gunfire started going, and he just like stopped and like ran off the stage, and then people started hitting the deck, and it was just like gunfire just started going berserk. They thought it was like pops going off. It was like pop, 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 and they didn't. They thought it was like those little like pop flares that you do. They said, no, 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 those are like gunshot fragments.
Scott and Emmy were like at the front of the crowd, and they just started army crawling. Like, did they even know where to go?
No, but they needed to get out of there because people around them were getting shot. They're lucky that they're okay. She goes, oh, it's caps, because she could hear like, they thought it was like a cap gun. And Scott was like, motherfucker, those are real shots, hit the deck, and they got on the ground, and then people just started getting like mowed down, and they were laying there, and he laid over on his back, and he was looking up because he's trying to figure out like, well, where is this gunfire coming from? And he couldn't. He didn't know where it was coming from, but people all around him were just getting mowed down. And he said you could hear the gunshots, like automatic weapon, just like brrr, 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 for like 10 minutes, just like emptying clips out of their guns.
We spent 4 days, didn't know it, living
12 floors below.
From the shooter.
Yeah.
He's been there for 4 days too. He must have checked in the same day we did. But he's been setting up in that hotel for this attack since we've been there. So we've been passing back and forth through his floor the whole time. But last night at 7 o'clock, we hosted
Cardone Capital meet and greet up at the foundation room.
100 people showed up. Kevin Harrington, Forbes Riley. Forbes was on Fox News tonight.
Yeah.
Probably 75 investors, some other my staff, some friends, some clients. At 7 o'clock, we started that meeting. At 9:58, I grabbed the microphone and said, guys, I'm gonna go play Hold'em poker. I'd love for a bunch of you to come with me. Keep in mind, this is 9:58. This is very important if you know what happened last night. 9:58, Elena, let's go play. About 12 of us actually went down to play Hold'em poker. At 10:08, the first hand was won, and that's when the shooter happened. We didn't know. We passed this guy literally while he was setting up.
Busting out the window.
Busting out the windows, and would basically start shooting on innocent civilians that cannot protect themselves.
Alexia, my friend, who was at the investor meeting, started getting texts from Jeremy. He was up in the foundation room saying, shots fired, because they could actually hear the rounds going on.
There are 6 or 7 floors above
it. So and they could see the strip, so they were seeing the ground below, and it was being filmed, and so there was pandemonium breaking out up there, and they said active shooter, active shooter. I told everybody at the table, hey, there's an active shooter, but no one really knew what was going on. And I really wanted to say this because this could make a difference between life and death in the future going forward to some of you out there that don't know this. But when I saw that text, active shooter, I said, guys, we got to find an exit. We got to find a place. We can't be open and exposed on the casino floor. One guy to my left told me, Elena, chill out. You need to relax. I just ignored him. And I was like, I saw this door that was this locked door that had the keypad. And I'm like, what's behind that door? And I was like, guys, we have to, and they're still dealing and playing, and it's someplace else, it's not here. But during those tactical training courses and hanging out with some special forces guys, they told me that the difference between life and death is those 30 seconds, that 15 to 30 seconds, that minute that you have to have a reaction and act immediately and not go into this denial phase or this waiting to comprehend phase. Like from the training, I wanted to get behind a locked location, and they're still playing cards, but I really want to reiterate that, especially to the girls out there that, you know, don't know how you would react in certain situations. It's better to look like a fool and be alive than to sit there and just act like nothing's happening, because somebody could have come around the corner with an AR and your chances lessen in those moments. So it's better to get safe. So I saw these two security guards come in to rush this VIP guy behind that door I was trying to get behind. And in that moment, I didn't think, oh, I can't go back there. It's an employee only area. As soon as I saw that door open, I dove over the poker table and freaking shoved my fingers inside the door right as it was slamming. I was. And I freaking yanked open the door, and all I could think about was protecting Grant. I didn't care about anybody else. I slammed open that door and I said, Grant, follow me right now. And he grabbed his backpack and freaking hauled balls in there. And because of my intention and certainty, everyone in the table just got up and left their poker tables and went behind these doors.
There was a number of people in the room like, man, we can't protect ourselves. There's nothing we can do. We're just going to sit down. I'm like, guys, we're all right.
Yeah.
Listen to what Elena's saying. I got the door. Stay calm.
He's got the door, fine. And then I went and started checking all the office doors to see which ones locked and which ones didn't. Only one door unlocked, and it was all the way in this back corridor. And then I just told everybody, especially the girls that were panicking, I said, look, we have a plan. We're going to be okay. If you hear a shot fired, we're going into this room. We're laying down on the back of the walls. I will pull this barricade in front of the door. Grant will have our back, and you just lay down and don't panic. We were there for, Elena, from 10 o'clock to 8:30 in the morning, 12 hours. Yeah. We didn't see one policeman in 12 hours, not one policeman. So we sat in this back office that Elena got us into, and then we got moved to a gym for about an hour and a half. Okay, downstairs
things had calmed down.
Downstairs.
It was announced that the shooter was dead, and this is when all the incorrect data came out. There's 3 terrorists, they're going through the hotels, there's bombs, the Luxor's under. This is when Twitter went nuts. And now all the data's incorrect. So by this time now, it's just clear the hotel. It's secure the hotel. We have now been moved to a 3rd place underground. My team's still on the 43rd floor.
Yeah, they're on the top and we're in the basement.
We're below. We moved to the back of this cafeteria. I walk into the cafeteria. I go grab sofas in the back in this cafeteria. And I started grabbing places. I said, look, everybody grab a seat, grab a place, prepare to go to sleep because we're going to be here for a while. And the guy said to me, how long are we going to be here? I said, look, man,
several hours.
There's almost 7,000 rooms in this hotel.
Really?
If that's just the rooms that have to be cleared. If each one takes 3 minutes, I just did the math on it.
Yeah.
There's 300 man hours here.
Yeah.
If they don't ever check an office, if they don't check hallways, if they don't check the underground, if they don't check, like they got to check all that, right?
Yeah.
So I said, we'll leave here about 8:30 in the morning. We left at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, you guys, they were literally stuck in those rooms, both above and below the shooter, for 8 to 12 hours. Finally, they were let out this morning, and we all went and met up for breakfast, and I had the opportunity to be able to interview a few people about their experiences, what it was like with the SWAT team, holding them in these rooms, giving them instructions, not knowing what was gonna happen next. I had the opportunity to be able to interview them and share their story. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with somebody named Legacy. This guy's gonna tell you the information. Legacy was trapped just above the shooter, above that window right there. They held him in there for, I think, 12 hours. Let's hear his story about him and his group with Cole Hatter and everybody else and the experience that they went through. Roll that clip.
The things that were going through my head was, all right, this is it. Like we're all gonna die. Somebody comes in here with an automatic, and we found out it was an automatic. And we're all scattered, people under tables, and it's like it's a room that you can see everybody. So I looked around and I said, you know, there's nowhere for me to hide behind or run behind. What is the tactic? And at the same time, I was fearing for my life. I thought for sure, you know, that was it. Somebody walks through that door. You don't know the next person, so any sound you're very aware of it. Somebody like dropped something and a cup fell, and the girl was like, "Stop making noises!" And it was like, "Ah, help! Open!" And then the people are opening the actual closet door, and then people are piled up, and they're like, "Yo!" And then climbing. Like it was very chaotic, and it just felt like it felt like one of the guys or all of the guys was on that floor with a gun, ready to come in, break the door down, shoot it, and just kill everybody. So that was very vivid, and that's when stuff started getting really real. Man, it was just so scary to be able to sit there and think, what if somebody walks in here that doesn't belong here with a gun and shoots?
Yeah. And what do you do? You like, sit there and just wait. And
then there's family members that you think about. There's, you know, if you got kids, I have a son, so like you're like, what should I do? What do I do? Where do I go? What do I say? How do I help? And you're stuck inside there, and you're just not knowing what to do. That's definitely not a place to be, especially from a man's perspective, where we're technically supposed to protect and care for people. It's like the most vulnerable place that I felt in a long time, because you're fearing death at that moment. You're fearing dying, getting shot, whether in the head, in the arm. You start thinking of what happens if I get shot where, what do you do at that moment? And being split up by the group that you were with and staying with a smaller group and thinking, what if we go, or what if they get shot, or whatever. So those things were the things that made us feel like, dude, like, how do we get out of here? Do we go through the SWAT was at one point telling us that we had to climb down the emergency exit, which was stairs outside of the building, and go down 47 flights.
Jeez, 47 flights downstairs on the stairs outside of the building.
And it led to the street. So we were like, I'm cool because I'm athletic, but I saw people in there and they're like, I'm like, how are they, like, what are we gonna do? Like, what happens if we're in the middle of it and somebody starts shooting us?
Yeah.
And we're up there like on the side, like people are afraid of heights.
How long did SWAT keep you in that room?
We were there without an update for the first 2 hours, and then we had a small update, and they said the radios were down and had us wait a little bit longer. Somebody came in and goes, guys, there's SWAT units, we're still scaling the floors, or what do they call it, like skimming the floors to try to check all the floor. And I realized, I'm like, wait, you've got 60 or 40 something floors to scale, you're starting at the bottom. How, like, that to me was devastating, because then they said they had to do that to every hotel before they could let us go. At the 7.5 hours when we actually got released. You know, you hear about these things and you're like, oh, okay, cool, it's over there, I'm here, I'm kind of okay. But when you're inside the building, above the person, and you know that you're looking at the same visual that they're looking at, which is the concert, and you can imagine, I don't know what the heck he was thinking, but you can imagine him shooting like this and we're just up above. That to me felt insane. That was crazy, exactly.
Okay guys, the next interview is gonna be Kyle and Adrian Livingston. They were in the group with Grant Cardone and Kevin Harrington and Forbes Riley and everybody else. Let's go ahead and hear their version of the story and exactly what happened for them.
We're sitting at the table and we're literally, everybody, we just see security running around, everybody's freaking out. Elena looks at me, she's like, listen, we're gonna go through this back door, because we saw an exit door and then we saw a back little secret door, and she's like, we're gonna go through that door. As soon as it opens, we're gonna jump in. As soon as it opened and people came out, the security guards came out, she literally almost jumped over the poker table and went in. Right. I was like, oh my God. She's like, everybody, let's go, let's go. And by this time, the whole casino was running around, crazy, screaming. It was terrifying.
So we go in and we're in a maybe an 8 by 30 hallway. There's 40 or 50 of us, super crammed in. Everyone's kind of panicking for a second. And Elena just takes charge. She's like, all right guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna make a plan. She just starts busting it out like a general, and she just starts making a plan.
Barricade the door, we're gonna lock this door, and the rooms are so small, so you group go in this door, you guys go in this door, we're gonna barricade the doors, lock it. Security came and got us. They took us down to the basement. Hurry, hurry, go, 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 go. And we're like running down these stairs, and I'm kind of with a broken ankle, like trying to go. I'm like gimping around.
They take us down to an employee gym down below, and there's a couple TVs, so now we're kind of getting some reports of what's going on. Media was super slow releasing stuff. Everyone's very calm at this point. Everyone starts to relax a little bit, but it's just freezing down there. Everyone's freezing. We're down there for about 3 hours.
Sleeping on treadmills.
It was crazy. There was 2 bathrooms. They were stuffed full of people. The gym was stuffed full of people. Security finally escorts us out into the employee dining room or the employee cafeteria. We go in there with maybe about 450 other people, and it's just crammed packed. It's like sardines at some point. I mean, there's people sleeping on chairs, there's people sleeping on benches, people sleeping on the floor. It was just crazy. It was just chaos for a bit. We heard everything from there's multiple shooters, there's 3 shooters, there's bombs in the Luxor, there's bombs in New York, New York. We had no clue what was going on. We just know that the shooting's still going on. And it went on for like the next probably 8-10 minutes of just solid shooting. And we have no clue if there's multiples, if there's one, if there's a bunch, no idea.
Okay, and the third interview that I want to do with you guys right now is with David Tosti. David was the photographer at the event, so he was there, he was with them. But the other crazy part is that he knew people that were at the concert, and he even knew somebody, unfortunately, that died last night. It was just a crazy experience. It was hard for him to share. He didn't want to talk very much with us, you guys, but he was willing to share a little bit of his story. So I think that you're gonna be able to see the emotions that people are going through right now are just crazy, but I wanted to at least be able to share some of this with you. Here's David Tosti and his version of what happened last night.
Security guard in the room with us who says, everybody get down, everybody get down. And we're just like, oh, everybody drops. People are trying to jump out through a door, through another exit, you know, and then all of a sudden here we are, you know, just people are crying. I'm like reminding people just to breathe and calm, you know, just keep yourselves calm. It's gonna be all right. We were, what, 14 floors above where the shooter was. And I had no idea, obviously, until a little bit later. And then we just, you know, doing interviews with NBC and CBS and all this stuff while we're up there. And so we were there from like 10 p.m. and we got out about, I think about 9 a.m. this morning. So like 12 hours. Yeah, just a bizarre experience. You know, you can't imagine. I have a close friend who was at the concert and her friend's husband has been shot and killed. And she's a mess, you know, and I'm just, you can't imagine, you know, the loss and the suffering, the grieving that one experiences, as we know through losses like that. It's just like, there's no words. I mean, all you can do is sit with somebody and be with them, stay in it with them. But it was really heavy, man. It's really heavy.